This is Biker Dad, brought to you by Stevenson Klotz and the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers.
Warning, warning, warning.
This is not a show about motorcycles. Okay, it has some motorcycles in it. But deep down, it's really a show about people who use their passion for motorcycles to make their communities better, safer, and stronger. And people just doing crazy biker stuff too. This is Biker Dad.
Welcome to the Biker Dad Show. If you haven't joined us before, this is a show about bikers, but not really a motorcycle show. So if you're not into riding, you'll still enjoy it. This week, we're focusing on 9/11, the 20th anniversary that we just commemorated a few weeks ago. And bikers are among the most patriotic people on the planet. From coast to coast, sea to shining sea, there have been bikers traveling, riding, and commemorating 9/11, promising they'll never forget, and doing it in a very loud way. We're just a few blocks really from the beautiful beaches of Alabama, but today we're concentrating on the beautiful commemoration of 9/11. Jeepers and bikers have come together to send a loud message across this county that we're not going to forget 9/11. But we're going to start over in Pensacola, Florida, where there's a brand new way. 20 years later, finally, there's this memorial for 9/11 victims, and it's going to be coming to a town near you. All right, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, pretty early for us here at Biker Dad World Headquarters, but we're up early for an important mission. We're going to escort the 9/11 wall over in Northwest Florida. As you can see, it's still pitch black outside, so we'll be riding in the dark for at least the first hour, but it's an important mission. We're happy to do it.
Well, my name is Trevin Bowman. I'm General Manager of Cottonmouth Custom Cycles.
John Truskowski, owner of Cottonmouth Customs.
So why is this important to you guys, this cause?
Well, not getting all teary-eyed or anything, but the topic itself is important. That's all I can say.
We have to honor them because they've given their life, some of them given their health, and we can stand back and be in awe of the sacrifice they've made, and anything we can do to help, remember them or tribute to them it's a great honor for us.
He wanted me to see if I could get a few people, so I made a few calls, and Green Knights jumped on it. Another Legion post popped in, and they volunteered up, so it's kind of rallied the troops as best I could.
Please.
My name's Dave Glassman. I'm with Gold Star and Surviving Families Connect, brand new 501c3 organization that we stood up here recently in the Pensacola area, and its mission is to basically reach out and provide what we call compassionate care referral services to current and future Gold Star family members, those folks that lose a son or daughter based on their or as a result of their service to the nation in uniform. What we got here today is what I consider to be a national asset, and soon we'll take it out of this truck. The Gold Stars tribute wall is the brainchild of Samuel Nakura, who's a retired Marine Corps gunnery sergeant who lost his brother long after Vietnam, and he put this thing together to represent all those service members that have died, I believe, since the Persian Gulf War.
I am the founder and president of Tribute to America's Fallen Foundation, the foundation that operates the Gold Star Tribute Wall. Well, the Gold Star Tribute Wall was sponsored to be here for September 11. We are honoring the fallen during the Gulf, Iraq, and Afghanistan. It is the only traveling memorial of its kind in the country that does that.
So how did this come about?
A bad dream. I served myself. I don't know any of the guys on this memorial, but I felt that it was important to do this since it took about 63 years to build the Second World War Memorial and 103 years to build the First World War Memorial. To the Gold Star families, it's important that the world knows the sacrifices they've given for our freedoms. And they continue to make those sacrifices on a daily basis.
Did you know before you started doing this that how much bikers are involved with veterans and things like that?
Well, yes and no. I mean, I'm an American Legion rider myself. I ride a motorcycle. I also belong to the Patriot Guard Riders. So we've done missions, and I know the involvement with that part, but I didn't know that this was that extensive wherever. I mean, 10 years later, this past Memorial Day was my 10-year anniversary. 10 years later, you know, I still get the chills whenever I get the response and the reaction from the local organizations.
This is a 90-foot semicircular, 9-foot tall panels that has 7,000 2.75-inch gold stars on it, one with every service member's name that have died since Persian Gulf War.
Well, this is a living wall. You're still adding names.
Yes, sir. In fact, we'll add 13 names tomorrow. And for those that don't know, which I hope everybody in this country knows, we lost 12 Marines in Afghanistan not too long ago, along with a corpsman, and 11 Marines, a soldier, and a Navy corpsman. We're continuing to lose American service members due to combat operations and other situations having to do with their or as a result of their service to the nation. And so when that happens, Sam Nikora and his board of directors, they go ahead and validate the name, and then they create the star and they create space, and it's an ongoing living wall, which means we're expanding, or they're expanding the number of panels that you see on the sideboard of this truck to marry up with what's going on out in the world. September 11, 2001 is, in my opinion, the seminal moment in our nation's history. It's the most deadly attack against American soil, or on American soil, by a foreign invader ever in the 245-year history of our nation. And so it's not just a 24-hour period, September 11th. It is that seminal moment, and this is the 20th year since that.
I think because a lot of your bikers, you know, have military bases behind them, and they feel strongly about supporting the other groups that are coming, and the younger kids that are coming home. You know, we got a lot of kids that are coming home from overseas, and a lot of therapy in riding a motorcycle. A lot of these guys get out, and it's a way to kind of release some of that stress and be able to go out and just be one, you know, and have the wind in your hair and not have to worry about it a whole lot.
Sherrier, the founder and president of Operation Reconnect. Started this on a deployment in 2014 just as a way to give my brothers and sisters time with their family when they came home from an overseas deployment. And 5 years later, we've been able to bring over 1,000 families right here to the Gulf Coast. Our home is in Orange Beach, Alabama, but we bring veterans from all over the country. And I'm proud to say that we've actually brought a veteran family from all 50 states right here to coastal Alabama. Today, September 11th, not only is the 20th anniversary of 9/11, but Operation Reconnect is hosting our inaugural Salute to Service event, and this is an event to celebrate the service and sacrifice of the families over the last 20 years, and that's why we're all here. The support brings tears to my eyes, because when I had the idea for this organization, I never imagined that anybody would invest their own time or resources to help us achieve our mission and give the time back to military families, but I'm overwhelmed. I've spent many of nights shedding plenty of tears because of the support that we've received. As you saw today, we had, I don't know the exact number right now, but 200 to 300 people that registered to be a part of our event. And it's one of the most invaluable things that could ever be done for our organization. I joined the military in 2011. I spent 9 years in the United States Air Force with the 442nd out of Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. Just got out last summer, so I spent 9 years, 2 deployments, 2014 and 2018. But my service continues through Operation Reconnect. I love bikers. I love our two-wheel community. Just because you have 2 wheels or 4 wheels, everybody's equal, but the love, the pure patriotism, the generosity is unmatched. I don't care what anybody says. And if you believe that anybody on a motorcycle is not generous, then you've never taken the time to have a conversation and figure out what is truly inside of their heart. And I can tell you from personal experience and past experiences, there's no human being on this earth that is more supportive and generous of our military than bikers. We are honored to have them participate in all of the events that we do, and we're always trying to find a way to incorporate everybody.
On this episode, we're remembering 9/11, and I want to introduce you to one of the most patriotic people I have ever met. She's a retired military. She's also a retired firefighter, and so was her husband. They always had a dream to open this biker business, but when he died, she made sure that dream still lived on.
I'm Martha Harris, owner of Eagles Talon. Eagles Talon was started because of my late husband wanted to do this when he retired from a civil service firefighting job. So he passed away in '96. So when he would have turned 55, I asked my daughter, "Are you ready to go do what your mom and dad were going to do when he retired?" And she says, "Hell yes, let's go." So that's what we did. We started this business then, and we do it in honor of him. Here at Eagles Talon, we focus mostly on riding apparel. We do have parts. We order from our major suppliers of Parts Unlimited and Drag Specialties. We also incorporated our embroidered patches to it, which we have been doing embroidery for 23 years now. And he died at 43. And it took us 12 years to make the jump because he would have retired at 55. And when he would have retired, we made the jump. It is phenomenal. The group of people that we've met along the way, the biker community is just absolutely awesome. And he would have loved it. And we just love it. Every time we have a party around here, we just look up and thank God for him and the opportunity to do this. He loved riding. We've grown each and every year, and we thank our loyal customers for that. I absolutely love the motorcycle community and the riders, and they make this all worth my while.
In Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, a loud show of support for our country. More than 1,000 bikers at Myrtle Beach Harley-Davidson roaring into town and showing that they are here to support America. Patriots through and through, more than 1,000 of them. And even better, the bikers raised more than $17,000 for firefighters. Thanks to Myrtle Beach Harley-Davidson for sending us this video. We want to send your videos too. Just hit us up on the Biker Dad Facebook page or wherever you connect to us. So we just want to thank all the patriots across the country, not just here on the Gulf Coast, and not just those who ride, for remembering 9/11 and commemorating the victims and the ongoing struggle that we're still facing 20 years later. Can you believe it has been 20 years? Well, that's our 9/11 coverage for now. Now we're going to get to the Bike of the Week. I'd like to introduce to you Martha Harris, owner of Eagles Talon Motorcycles in Pensacola, and one of the most patriotic people you'll ever meet.
I'm a patriot through and through. I will not let you disrespect my flag.
Martha is a veteran, a retired firefighter, and one of the biggest supporters of our biker community.
I absolutely love the motorcycle community and the riders, and they make this all worth my while.
So please stop by and visit Eagles Talon for your leather, patches, apparel, and a whole lot more. Eagles Talon on Copter Road in Pensacola, one of my favorite places in the world.
Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson is the king of motorcycle credit. Good credit, bad credit, we'll get you riding. With over 150 new and used motorcycles available, we have a motorcycle for you and your budget. New Harley-Davidson motorcycles starting as low as $119 a month. The professional team in Motor Clothes is also here to help make sure that you're geared up for the riding season from head to toe. Come on down to Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson on the corner of Pleasant Valley Road and Cottage Hill and see the king of motorcycle credit.
There's a little place in downtown Mobile on the corner of Fat and Happy, and it's one of my favorites. Bob's Downtown Diner isn't just a great place to eat and home of the best French toast you'll ever eat. It's one of the best things you'll ever put in your mouth. It's also an important part of the community and not just the biker community.
I'm grateful, I'm grateful for the bikers that I meet from all over the country.
Bob's is a hot spot for bikers and very biker friendly, but it's also family friendly. I like to bring my kids here Sunday after church for brunch. Please visit my friend Tony Sawyer at Bob's Downtown Diner and check them out on the corner of fatandhappy.com. Cottonmouth Customs is building bikes and building a reputation as one of the greats. The shop in Pensacola offers custom bikes, service, and tons of used parts upstairs. The mini museum of beautiful vintage bikes is worth the visit alone. I want to personally thank Cottonmouth Customs for supporting the Biker Dad show and making our dream of riding motorcycles and telling stories possible. And look, even the Blue Angels approve.
Here's the Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson Bike of the Week.
Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson Bike of the Week.
All right, this week's bike of the week is mean and green. It is called Snake Venom, and it is looks awesome. Richard Rawlings would love it. It's green, 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 and I think it looks pretty fantastic. But Steve with Harley-Davidson is here to tell us a little bit more about it than I can tell you. So Steve, what's up with this bike?
So this is the 2021 Harley-Davidson Street Glide Special in Snake Venom. The Snake Venom is a custom color for 2021, which makes it extremely unique. This bike's super sought after, and it does kind of change color depending on the type of lighting that you're in. If you go from fluorescent lighting over to regular sunlight, it does have a purplish tint into it. On this particular bike, we did do a couple of upgrades to it. You can look right on the gas tank. It does have a flush mount gas cap.
Awesome.
From the factory. They come with the traditional chrome style, kind of big and bulky.
So we gotta,
down on
gauges are already in here, so you're not gonna have a gas gauge over in your tank, so that keeps it all really clean.
And inside the infotainment system, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but it does also have digital speedo, tack, gas, range, everything like that. The Harley GTS system is really, really in depth. It's really cool.
We talked about the paint, but you can't say too much about it. Even when you walk, you see the Harley-Davidson stuff here, but even when you walk down the bike, and this video will not do it justice, the changes in the light, even out here from shadows, the bike looks different. It looks purple right here, right now, because there's a shadow. It's totally green up here. There's tons of flake in there and pearl that just makes it pop out in the sunlight.
You've also got the Harley-Davidson #1 on this saddlebag. It's a really, really cool addition to the paint, and only adds to the coolness of the bike. We also did a Vance & Hines X style header on it, as well as Reinhardt slip-ons to complete the stage 1 from the factory. It does come with a heavy breather, so we did the pipes as well, just to kind of finish that off and give it a mean sound.
So it looks gorgeous, but let's see how it looks in motion. We're going to take it out on the streets and see what it does and see how it rides. So let's hop on, take off, and go for a ride. It's awesome. It felt good, it rode good. I haven't ridden with floorboards for a while, so the first couple times picking up my feet was a little sketchy, but once I got used to that again, it was totally cool. Look at the purple popping out there in the sunlight. Cottonmouth Customs is building bikes and building a reputation as one of the greats. The shop in Pensacola offers custom bikes, service, and tons of used parts upstairs. The mini museum of beautiful vintage bikes is worth the visit alone. I want to personally thank Cottonmouth Customs for supporting the Biker Dad show and making our dream of riding motorcycles and telling stories possible. And look, even the Blue Angels approve.
Your home for Lex and Terry in the morning rocks your workday. Available on over 2,000 smart devices. The Gulf Coast Rock Station, TK 101.
I'm attorney Eric Stevenson. With all these lawyers advertising, how do you know who to hire? No lawyer can promise or guarantee results for the outcome of your case, and neither can we. But we can guarantee if you're not 100% satisfied with how my firm treats you during the first 30 days, we will return your files with no fees and no questions asked. Call Stevenson Klotz with the Client Satisfaction Guarantee.
There's a little place in downtown Mobile on the corner of Fat and Happy, and it's one of my favorites. Bob's Downtown Diner isn't just a great place to eat, and home of the best French toast you'll ever eat. It's one of the best things you'll ever put in your mouth. It's also an important part of the community, and not just the biker community.
I'm grateful, I'm grateful for the bikers that I meet from all over the country.
Bob's is a hot spot for bikers and very biker friendly, but it's also family friendly. I like to bring my kids here Sunday after church for brunch. Please visit my friend Tony Sawyer at Bob's Downtown Diner and check them out on the corner of fatandhappy.com. I'd like to introduce to you Martha Harris, owner of Eagles Talon Motorcycles in Pensacola, and one of the most patriotic people you'll ever meet.
I'm a patriot through and through. I will not let you disrespect my flag.
Martha is a veteran, a retired firefighter, and one of the biggest supporters of our biker community.
I absolutely love the motorcycle community and the riders, and they make this all worth my while.
So please stop by and visit Eagles Talon for your leather, patches, apparel, and a whole lot more. Eagles Talon on Copter Road in Pensacola, one of my favorite places in the world. This week's Tech Tip is brought to you by Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson. All right, this week's Tech Tip is all about taking long trips. This is my bike, Elvis, in case you haven't met Elvis before. And we're about to go on a bunch of long trips from South Carolina to Texas and all over Florida. And I want to make sure that Elvis is ready to go, that it's both going to run and be safe. And Neil, Master Tech with Harley-Davidson, is here to talk to us about that. So where do we start?
Well, we have a lot of customers that come in between services and say things like, hey, I'm about to take off to Daytona or about to head up to the Dragon. I just need a quick check. I've kind of let things go since my last service. We have an official checklist from Harley, and we have a Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson checklist. Before any ride, that's one of the things I'll do. I'll put on the gloves, getting ready for the day. I'll check my throttle function, check return. That's the last thing you want, is something getting hung up in a corner. With electronic throttles, not such a big deal. Tire pressure, I check my tire pressure weekly. Brake pads. Most of these bikes you can look right in there and just see. It should be about a nickel or more. One of the other things is tread depth. You definitely want to get a finger in there. If it's smooth like a drag slick, I wouldn't take off just yet. If you have an engine light that's staying on, that'd be something to get checked out. Sometimes off the bike you'll hear different things than you would on the bike. So I like to give it a already I can tell something you've been missing. Vance & Hines, when they expand and contract the heat so much, these bolts require a good check. I want to say about every 1,000 miles. I'm going to go ahead and throw a leg over it real quick.
All right.
Added benefit of getting a safety check is sometimes having somebody else on it. We throw legs over bikes all day long, so we can tell instantly that something's kind of off. If I grab a steering and it's a little squishy, feels like a sponge, tire pressures, simple things to check. I can feel the vibrations through the bike. Anything's caught or just off, maybe needs a little bit of tightening.
Like I always say, I'm not a mechanic. I'm not good at it, so I always have you guys check stuff out. So Elvis and I are gonna hit the road after we get some bolts knocked down on the lower tailpipe of the motorcycle, and we're gonna be going all over the country, and thanks to Mobile Bay Harley Davidson, we're gonna be a little bit safer when we do that. So follow us on YouTube for the adventures that we have coming up, and to keep getting more tech tips like this one. All right, so we're here at Stevenson Klotz Injury Attorneys in Pensacola, Florida, talking with Chris Klotz, who's not only an injury attorney, but also a biker. We've ridden several times together, so it's awesome. But one of the first things I want to talk about is an issue that you and I have discussed several times, and my friend DJ, who's around the camera, actually has experienced this personally, and we'll talk to him about it too, but not having enough insurance in case you have a motorcycle crash.
Yeah, that's such an important thing to know about. So in Florida, and a lot of people don't know this, sometimes people think that if you have automobile insurance and you've got a bike, that it might be covered. It's not. You have to have a standalone motorcycle policy. And then what a lot of people also don't know is sometimes everybody's trying to be cost conscious and trying not to, spend too much money. A lot of people will just buy whatever the minimum policy is they can for their bike. And so if you buy the minimum policy for your bike, let's say you get, you got a $10,000 policy, right? And some Yahoo comes and hits you and they have $10,000, but you've got $100,000 in medical bills. Well, their insurance, the person who caused the accident, they're only going to be exposed up to the $10,000, and then it would come back to you as to whether you have uninsured motorist coverage or not. So most people will buy their motorcycle policy and sometimes check that box that says, I'm going to waive UM. It's UM or uninsured motorist or underinsured motorist coverage. And if you do that, and somebody that causes an accident doesn't have enough insurance to cover your injuries or your recovery or your lost work time or your pain and suffering, then you're out of luck.
Yeah, when your attorney is also a biker, you know they've got your back. I know Stevenson Klotz has my back, and they'll have yours too if you ever need them in an accident. Hopefully neither of us, myself or you, will ever need them. But in case I'm ever in an accident, I know Stevenson Klotz has my back, and they'll have your back too. Tell them Biker Dad sent you, and they'll treat you just like family. Hope you're enjoying this week's episode of the Biker Dad Show. Don't forget to tune in next Sunday at 9 o'clock. We're going motorcycle camping at Scooter Haven down in Inglis, Florida. We'll also be talking to people who rock, including one of my favorite up-and-coming rock stars, Jezebel. That's next week on the Biker Dad Show. Don't miss it.